What's up guys, as requested we got the Samsung Galaxy A56 5G. This is the base model and we're going to be unboxing it, doing my first impressions. A lot of you guys were requesting that I pick this one up. And yeah, I'm excited to cover and do comparisons for you guys. So they have a olive color, which we have here, a pink color. You also do have a graphite color and a light gray color as well. So let's check out this olive color here, and it actually looks really nice. I'm glad I got this one. So we have a kind of a new camera design. I didn't get the A55, I don't believe so. I think I might have, but I'm pretty sure this is a new look here as far as how the camera looks. Looks very cool. Let's go ahead and get this plastic off here. Boom. And this is the international version I got from eBay. I paid like $400 for this one. And no, actually less. It was like $386. And yeah, everything looks really nice here. Let's come back to this and see what else we get in the box here. Doesn't look like we get anything else really. SIM ejection tool, and it looks like you'll get a Type-C to Type-C cable. We got a glossy finish on the back. This is actually a metal frame here, so that's really nice. So the phone actually feels really premium, looks very premium as well too. It is IP67 dust and water resistant as well. Let's go ahead and boot it up and go through it. But hardware wise, it looks nice, feels really great in the hand, not super sharp on these edges here as well. It doesn't have that sharp feeling. So overall, I really like the hardware here. I'm really loving the color here. Let's see if it wobbles when you type. Yeah, it's kind of a wobbly phone. Alright, so I do want to touch on the software here, guys. This is running One UI 7 out the box, and it is really smooth. That is the thing that I noticed immediately when I was setting the phone up, is how smooth the software is, how smooth the animations look. So I'm actually very impressed, because even when when you set phones up, they kind of get a little laggy, a little glitchy sometimes when you're installing a bunch of applications, but this is really smooth and animations look great. You cannot tell this is a mid-range phone at all from just how smooth it feels. So that is one thing that I was really impressed with. Another thing that I was pretty curious about was the AI stuff. So usually the Galaxy AI little section will be here, but you have to go to advanced features, and it does have the AI features. It's just not all of the AI features you would find on like an S25 Ultra or something like that. But they do have some features on here, as you guys can see. That's pretty nice. The circle to search is on here, so I thought that was interesting. So it's kind of a little bit of a stripped back version of One UI. So it makes me wonder if they'll bring like these kind of stripped back version of AI features to the older Samsung Galaxy phones, like the S21 when it gets One UI 7. Just something I was kind of curious about. But yeah, software wise, guys, I mean, this is smooth. I mean, this is why people buy Samsung phone, guys, because I mean, this is pretty impressive for a mid-range phone, how smooth it was. And let's go ahead and actually just jump in and talk about this processor here. So this is going to get 6 years of updates. So it has, of course, Android 15. And then we have the Exynos 1580 processor on here. This is the base model, 128 gigs and 8 gigs of RAM. We have UFS 3.1 for the storage here. You can see these are the scores that we get with Geekbench 6. And then if we come in here and open 3D Mark here, show you guys the Wildlife Extreme, these are the scores that we'll get for Wildlife Extreme here. You can see 6 to 11 frames here. So let's go ahead and open up PUBG and see what we get in here. Now, as for your graphics in PUBG, let's see what we get here. We do not get the 90 frames option on here, unfortunately, and we have HDR Ultra here, so we can play 60 frames and it feels pretty smooth, so it feels pretty much on point. So if you do want to get some casual gaming in here, it looks like it'll be able to play PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile fine. But if you're more on the competitive side, there are definitely some better options as far as getting an older flagship or something like that to get that 90 frames or 120 frames. You could get something like an S23 or an S23 Plus or something like that. But for what it is, playing PUBG on here, Looks to be perfectly fine here. I'll do like a more intensive gaming test to see if we can get it to heat up or anything like that. And usually I hear a lot of negative things about these Exynos processors, but with the S24 FE and so far this phone has been pretty smooth. Just my first impressions of it. I don't see a lot of glitching. It's not really heating up when I was installing apps, and obviously I just got it, so I'm gonna be using it a lot more. But so far, I mean, performance-wise, it's fine, but definitely it's not for like hardcore gamers, just for people trying to casually play games, I guess. So this is a pretty big phone here at 6.7 inches. We do have definitely a little bit of bezel right here, as you guys can see here. So as always, I did turn the vividness all the way up on here because I just like the more vivid look. It's got the Super AMOLED display. It's 120 Hz HDR10 plus. This one gets up to 1900 nits peak brightness, so in direct sunlight it should do a pretty good job. Even the older Galaxy phones at like 1750 still do a pretty good job in direct sunlight, so this one will look great outdoors. And yeah, it's 1080p 385 for the PPI. All the icons look sharp. Samsung has been doing a fantastic job with displays for a very long time, so this one looks fine. It does have also HDR10 on here, HDR10 plus. And yeah, as far as the panel goes, it's your classic Samsung panel. If you just want that extra like vivid colors, just turn the vividness slider up, because I know that's kind of like a big complaint people see when you first get the phone. You'll kind of see it doesn't look the same like the older phones, but you just turn this vividness slider up and you'll be good to go. So yeah, so overall the display very smooth. Of course, it's a mid-range phone, so you're gonna have these bezels here, but besides that, overall the display is fine. Got the speakers at max volume. The speakers actually sound pretty good. There's a good amount of bass on here. They're very loud. If you cover the bottom speaker here, you get pretty good sound from the top speaker. Do they sound as good as like a flagship like a S24 Ultra? No. S25? No. But they sound pretty good just in general. They don't sound like a bad pair of speakers. So that's really nice. Now the fingerprint scanner on here, it's an optical one. And one thing that I kind of noticed with this one is I had to redo it, but you gotta put your finger down just a little bit, add a little bit of pressure here. I get so used to the ultrasonic ones that you can't just lightly kind of like tap these really quick. You gotta hold it a little bit, but it works perfectly fine. There's no issues with that. And yeah, you have a lot of the AI features. Now again, Samsung is supposed to be charging for these AI features, and it's something that I'm curious to see because Apple's not going to be charging for theirs. So will Samsung actually go through with that? I doubt it. So you probably won't have to pay for these AI features, but maybe they will, start charge you for some particular features. But you do have a lot of the essential stuff people would like to use, like the object eraser and circle to search and stuff like that. Everything is working pretty fine. It's a very smooth phone. So that's the thing that's been very impressive here. And I really like One UI 7, the camera layout as well. Being able to access these toggles here is always really nice, very convenient for one-hand use. And I guess we can talk about the cameras on here. So this phone has a 15 megapixel standard, a 12 megapixel ultra wide. You have a 5 megapixel macro. It has that best face feature, so you can swap the faces and stuff like that. It shoots in 4K 30, and then it has a 12 megapixel selfie cam that shoots in 4K 30. And my first impressions of the shots, they look pretty good. I'm gonna put them side by side next to my other phones, but they look like a regular mid-range phone shots. To me, there's a few things I could see, but I don't want to judge the cameras too harshly because it's not a flagship phone. It's a mid-range phone, and to me it's taking mid-range photos, and some of the photos honestly look good. I think they're good dynamic range, good color on here. The ultra wide is actually pretty consistent with the main lens, punching into 2 times. It's not bad. You have to see how it does in sort of low light photography, but overall not bad. That's the same thing for the video as well too. The video looked pretty solid. as well. So again, as far as the image quality goes, I think it's perfectly fine. This phone does have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, so we should get some very good battery life. These A series phones usually have pretty good battery life. The A55, the 54 have pretty solid battery life, so I don't expect this to have bad battery life at all. And we have 45-watt charging on here, which is actually pretty decent because they typically do less on these A series phones from what I remember in the past. I can't remember what the A55 was. Somebody could drop it, but the 45 watts is pretty nice on here. And yeah, guys, so what do you guys think of the A56 here? It's Samsung is asking for basically $400. That's what I got this one for. Is it worth it getting this over an old flagship for that 6 years of updates? You get the the AI stuff as well too. So what do you guys think? Be sure to let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.